Welcome to the Linn County Primary Election Training. The responsibilities listed below are for the supervising judge. Please check your election notice letter to determine if you are a supervising judge. We've had several changes this year, so please double check. If you are a supervising judge and you cannot complete these duties, please let the clerk's office know as soon as possible. Your duties include picking up the ballots from the election office after 4 p.m. You will need to review the election manual and procedures located in the binder in the supply bag. You may want to visit your polling place to review the room layout. We've set things up a little bit different this year due to COVID. Booths are further apart. We have extra cleaning supplies. So if you see something that you think could be laid out better, please feel free to move what we have put up. But please keep in mind that we do need to make sure that the voting booths are socially distanced. This is your Election Day checklist. You will find a copy of this in your Election Day manual. Please feel free to remove the checklist and check off the boxes throughout the day. Before the polls open, you need to open and turn on your ballot scanner. You will select Open the Polls. You need to allow for both reports to print. Have each election officer review the reports, verify that the totals are zero, and sign at the bottom. You will need to turn on the express vote. This takes about 2 minutes for the machine to turn on. Once on, you will need to enter the password. Your password can be found in the front pocket of the black election bag. You will need to verify that the polling place and that the election are correct. You will need to open the poll book. You need to place it on the stand and plug it in. You will then turn it on. You will select Launch Express Poll. If the time is off, you may set the clock time. You will need to enter the password. This password is also found in the front pocket of the black election bag. You need to verify that the poll location is correct. You will select Open the Polls and click on Search Voter Roster. This is the screen that you will stay on throughout the day. You need to be sure the Express Vote printer is also turned on. If it is not, the poll book will give you an error. Be sure to administer the oath to all board workers. Locate and put on your name badges. You may get out your supplies and place them where needed. This election, we have ballot totes, which are where your ballots are stored. You will need to verify the ID number on the blue tamper strip attached to the ballot tote with the number that is listed on your report and claim form. As long as these numbers match, you may cut the tamper strip. You do not need to count any ballots. Please do not remove the ballots from the tote and lay them on the table. You will leave them in the tote and pull the ballots as you need them. You will also find party affiliation cards and express vote cards inside this ballot tote. Please remove your 2 sample ballot portfolios and lay them on the table for voters to view. You need to check outside for political signs. There should be no political signs within a 250-foot radius of your polling site. There is a map inside your manual that outlines this 250-foot radius. If there is a political sign, please ask the owner to take it down. If nobody is home, then you may remove the sign yourself. If at this point you are short workers, please call the clerk's office immediately. While the polls are open, instruct each voter to take a pen/stylus. They will use this for signing the poll book, using the express vote, or voting a standard ballot. They may return it to the used pen bin located on the front of the ballot scanner to be sanitized. You will check voters in using the electronic poll book. The SAFE Act requires all voters to provide a photo ID to vote. A list of acceptable forms of ID is located on the fact sheet inside your election manual. If a voter does not provide an acceptable form of ID, they must vote a provisional ballot. All voters must sign their name before voting unless they're handicapped, physically, visually, non-proficient in the English language, or over the age of 65. If a voter needs assistance, a person chosen by the voter may assist and accompany the voter to the voting booth. If no person is chosen, one poll worker from each party should assist them. You will need to stamp each standard ballot and express vote card with the unique stamp. Standard ballots have a box located in the lower right-hand corner for the stamp. Express vote cards just stamp a blank space in the lower right-hand corner. For any voter whose name or address does not match the voter registration in the poll book, the voter is not listed in the poll book, or the party does not match how the voter wishes to vote, or the voter does not show photo ID, they must vote a provisional ballot. You will have all provisional voters sign the provisional paper poll book. They will complete a voter registration and assign the appropriate lines on the provisional envelope. The county canvassers will decide whether or not their vote will count. An election board worker should not deny a ballot to anyone. You will provide a provisional ballot receipt to all voters who vote provisional. If a voter moves from county to county within 30 days before the election, they may complete an affidavit and vote a regular ballot at the precinct of the voter's former residence. Unaffiliated voters who do not live in the Prairie View School District must affiliate with a party before they can be issued a ballot. They will complete the party affiliation card and return it to the poll worker before they can receive their ballot. An unaffiliated voter in the Prairie View School District does not have to affiliate. They may receive the nonpartisan ballot. There are charts in your manual that will help you determine what ballot you should issue. A Libertarian voter in the Prairie View School District does have a nonpartisan ballot. If the voter insists on voting for a party, then you would revert back to the provisional directions. These details are also on the party affiliation chart. Throughout the day, you should verify that the number of ballots in the poll book matches with the number of ballots scanned on the ballot scanner. During the day, you need to place any spoiled ballots in the spoiled ballot white envelope. Do not let any voter leave the poll with their ballot. If you run low on supplies, please call the clerk's office immediately. For full procedures, please see the manuals or other procedures listed in the election binder. This is a chart that can help you with voters not in the Prairie View School District. If your voter is registered Democratic, they will receive a Democratic ballot. If your voter is registered Republican, they will receive a Republican ballot. If the voter is registered as unaffiliated, to be able to vote in the primary, they must affiliate with either party. They can complete a party affiliation card to do so. Libertarian affiliated voters do not have a ballot for this election. This is a chart you can use for voters that are within the Prairie View School District. If your voter is registered Democrat, they will receive a Democratic ballot. If they are registered Republican, they will receive a Republican ballot. Your unaffiliated voters have two different choices. They may either affiliate with the Democratic or the Republican Party. If they do not want to affiliate, they may be issued the nonpartisan ballot. This is the same for a Libertarian affiliated voter. They may receive a nonpartisan ballot. Again, this only stands true for voters that fall within the Prairie View School District. To ensure a clean and safe voting site, we are taking extra precautions and are implementing a cleaning regimen. Please follow the following cleaning procedures throughout the day. Disinfect door handles frequently. Disinfect the poll book and the poll book stylus. Do not spray cleaner directly on the screen. Provide each voter with a disinfected pen. Voters may take the pen provided or leave it in the used pen box to be disinfected. Tables, chairs, and privacy booths should be wiped down after each voter. Touchscreen should be disinfected. Please do not spray cleaner directly on the screen. Please excuse yourself for a lunch or snack break. Workers should not eat at the check-in table. When able, please excuse yourself to wash your hands. You may use hand sanitizer when you are unable to excuse yourself. Voters are required to socially distance. If this becomes an issue, you may ask people to wait outside until the room has enough space to enforce the distancing requirement. Please consider wearing a mask. Cloth masks are provided for all election workers. We have a limited amount of disposable masks available if a voter requests one. Please consider wearing gloves when cleaning or disinfecting surfaces. As your cleaning cloths become dirty, please place them in the dirty cloths bag to return to the clerk's office to be sanitized. At the end of the day, please place your mask with the dirty cloths to also be sanitized. After the polls close, you need to turn off the express vote and lock the panel. Turn off the poll book and repack it in the black case and place it back in the front compartment of the black supply bag. Push the Close Polls button on the ballot scanner. Once the red light is off on the scanner, you may then pull the media stick and the ballots from the machine. Have all election workers sign at the bottom of the report that prints. Place your media stick and all reports from the ballot scanner in the provided bag. It will be labeled Ballot Scanner Media Stick and Reports. This is located in the election binder in the front pocket. Follow the procedures for returning ballots, also located in the election binder. Complete the removable tag section and have at least 2 workers sign each plastic bag that is sealed. When sealing up the ballot tote, please make sure that your blue tamper strip ID matches the number on your report and claim form. You should have all of the following ballots to return in the appropriate bags or totes. Voted standard and voted express cards will be in the labeled bag. Spoiled ballots will be in the white envelope. Provisional and advance ballots will be in the red bag. Unused standard and unused express vote cards will stay in your sealed tote. Party affiliation cards need to be returned in the Ziploc bag labeled Party Affiliation Cards. You will need to complete the report and claim form, balancing the number of ballots that are returned to the clerk's office to the number of ballots that were sent to the polls. 1 Democrat and 1 Republican shall escort the ballots and the media stick to the clerk's office. For full procedures, please see the manual or other procedures located in the election binder. This is an example of the report and claim form that the supervising judge will pick up from the election office the day before the election. These are directions for completing the report and claim form that we just showed. You will need to complete this form prior to checking into the election office the evening of the election. The blue sections, the date, the election, the polling place, the number of ballots sent to the polls, and the tamper strip verification will be completed when the ballots are picked up by the supervising judge. Prior to checking into the election office the night of the election, you need to complete all of the pink sections. You need to fill out the election worker information, the number of ballots returned to the election office, the advance ballots returned to the polls. The supervising judge needs to print their name, sign, and date. We only need a total for each box, not a total for each ballot style. The total return ballot should match the grand total sent out to the polls. Advance ballots that are returned to the polls, write the number of advance ballots received. Do not count these in your total ballots returned when balancing. Complete the name, address, hours worked, and mileage for each worker. Mileage should include your total mileage from election school, picking up supplies, if applicable, and all mileage for election day. The supervising judge must sign off on the report and claim form. These election laws can be found in your Election Day manual. Please review these and be sure that you are familiar with these laws. Former precinct voting allows a registered voter who has moved from one precinct in the state to another precinct in the state within the 30-day period before the election to return to the voter's former precinct where the voter is registered and vote a regular ballot. This form must be completed prior to giving the voter a ballot. These forms are found in your Election Day manual. Any voter who has a religious objection to a photo ID must complete this form. This form is located in your Election Day manual. This needs to be completed before they are allowed to vote. This is a notice regarding the authorization for a poll agent or a poll watcher. All poll agent appointments must be filed with the county election office before the person may act as a poll agent. If we have any appointments for your location, we will notify you. These are some common courtesies that we ask that you use with each of the voters. Please be considerate of the extra time it may take a person who is disabled or elderly to complete the voting process, and give them an unhurried attention. Speak directly to the person who has a disability rather than to a companion who may be with the voter. Speak calmly, slowly, and directly to a person with a hearing problem. Your facial expressions, gestures, and body movements help in understanding. Do not shout or speak into the person's ear. If full understanding is in doubt, write a note for the person. Do not be overly attentive or insist on giving more help than needed or requested. Before assisting a person in a wheelchair, ask if you may do so and how to proceed. Greet a person who is visually impaired by letting that person know who and where you are. Provide a guiding device such as a ruler or card for signing. Be aware that dogs that assist people with disabilities should be admitted into all buildings. Such dogs are highly trained and need no special care other than that provided by the owner. Be aware that federal law allows voters with disabilities to be accompanied and to receive assistance by another person in the voting booth. In case of a catastrophic emergency, please do not panic. If there is time, please leave a note on the door advising of the situation. Take your express poll, your media stick for the ballot scanner, and all of your ballots. When the election officers are in a secure location, please call the election office to advise of the situation and receive further instructions. If voting can be reopened, you will resume voting as normal. Again, please call the election office to advise that voting has been resumed. Thank you for completing the primary election training. Please be sure to attend your hands-on training, which is scheduled for Wednesday, July 29th. Training will be open from 9 to 11 a.m. at the Linn County Annex.